Greetings and welcome to Shatterstar. I am the Renegade Richard and this is a Starship visual review video. So, welcome to you captains, engineers and Starship artisans, to this first look at, well, an updated variation of a beautiful Discovery ship. Now this ship has already been released, so there is no review video coming up with this because I've already released the review video. But this is a new visual style added to the ship within the Star Trek Online universe. And I'm not going to lie, this design visually fits very well in main canon. Actually works brilliantly for where it's ideally timeline slotted. But I guess you could be a little bit gentle, say it was a little bit pre-earlier, change a few visual aesthetics, and it would fit perfectly in the TOS. So although it's during the motion picture movie period, the Excelsior sort of era, this ship does look magnificent and works really well. Also, I should, before we begin, add a massive thank you to Negus, who donated £50 and made this video, along with the other reviews I've already done and the ones I'm going to do, possible within this new Discovery bundle. It was thanks to you, Negus, that I was able to get this bundle and able to do these reviews. They would not be happening right now if it wasn't for you. So a massive thank you, and I cannot show you my appreciation enough. But without further ado, should we... well, first of all, I'm going to say, she even works upside down. Come on, guys, look at this. I'm not even joking here. From all angles, she looks amazing upside down. What the hell? Great design right there. Okay, but with all seriousness, actually, let's introduce... yes, seriously, allow me to introduce the GEORGIOU class. Oh, yeah, she's pretty, look at her. Oh my god, she's aesthetically beautiful. What a magnificent design. You have way outdone yourselves, massively outshone anything you've come up with before now. This ship fits canon gorgeously. This is a beautiful take on the Walker class and an astonishing update. I don't know where to begin with this ship, other than my joke of it being, if you flip it upside down, it works really well. Actually, if you flip it upside down, it kind of looks like the Elita crossed with the Akira. But that might have something to do with that pod. But okay, let's be genuinely serious right now. What a beautiful concept. This ship, I've got so much to say about this ship. I can go on so many different points on this ship. It's just, it's a marvel of a masterpiece. The first thing I thought looking at this ship is, oh, okay, it's a more battle-ready Centaur. Then it clicked to me, hang on a second, it is. But the Centaur was developed to fight as a easy and quick to manufacture ship during the Dominion War. And it really showed what it was. This is perfect. This is taking the idea of the Centaur and gone, right, we've created the Centaur concept. We're rolling the ship out, but we know it's got problems. We need to make it more functional. Okay, engineers, take the Centaur concept, begin the refits now. We want a refit design to come out within the year. Got it? Go, go, go. And basically, if that is what happened, you'd have had a rollout of probably this kind of ship, and it would have literally, I would have said, it would have shifted the Dominion War quite heavily. Because this ship has got what it needs. Bearing in mind, the Miranda had the mega phasers. It was technically the Miranda was a sort of patrol, short-range exploration ship, which could be taken into a combat situation should it be the one equipped with the roll bar. Non-roll bar forms was just straight up short-range exploration ships. The roll bar was added as a way of making the Miranda more capable of fighting. The Centaur was a next generation of Miranda in sense, but it missed out what the Miranda had that made it battle ready. And yes, the Miranda was cannon fodder during the Dominion War, but a very old ship. This ship will have taken that and massively improved on it. Let's begin on the finer notes to make. So first of all, the saucer is beautiful. It's an Excelsior saucer, but it's got the right additional details to really prime it up. You go on the underside, you've got that little indent. It's just a minor indent, but it is so beautifully canon. It works beautifully. It's a nice, gorgeous touch. Great design feature. You've got a very nice sort of roll to it underneath as a result. It's beautiful. On the upper side, this saucer just keeps its nice fine shape, but they've added a slight increase in the bowl, in the sort of bowl of the saucer, which is where the deflector has been added. This deflector, rather than being like the Type B Miranda roll bar and torpedo pod / probe pod, you can see it was meant to be there, but they've sort of taken it off. It's probably got a backup deflector behind that shielding, and they've added this very high-tech advanced deflector to the front. This advanced deflector will probably keep this ship well and truly safe in the midst of amazing conflict and battle. It's such a beautiful little addition, and it looks exactly how I would have expected it. It's basically, in my mind, that is the Excelsior's deflector dish, but it's multiple of them put behind a shielding. So there's probably 4 mini Excelsior deflectors all lined up to create the same sort of power output as the Excelsior, or maybe the Enterprise C. I don't expect it to be very powerful because this was a throw together ship, and I don't expect it to be very fast. At the high end, or highballing it, considering it does look like a very advanced deflector, maybe on this miniature ship, and for that slim design, maybe it's as good as the Enterprise D. And if it is, that would give this ship somewhat extra potential when at higher speeds, and also protection at those speeds. A big thing to state here though is moving towards the, I don't want to go into too much on the weapon detail yet, so moving towards the back, we're going to just touch on the warp nacelles right now. But look at that design. Straight away, there's a few things I pick up on. So you head towards the back and you've got a variation of the Oberth design, which I thought was a bit interesting. Paying attention to that back, you've got that tubular cylinder there. I guarantee that's got warp coils coming down it. You can see there's warp coils in this section. So this is either warp coils coming down this, or this is a rapid cool-off or ejection system for the warp plasma. A beautiful line of sight, which is very armoured up. It's extremely well armoured, so that is exactly what I'd expect to see along the top bit here. And then the grilling, that it matches both the Excelsior's armoured nacelle grill plus the Constitution Refit's armoured grill. So it's great to see that detailing there. A nice bit of vending at the front, and then you go around and you've got this beautiful housing and sort of overlay shielding area for the Bassard collector. The Bassad's not too out of size. The nacelle, you can tell, is pretty big, and it looks to me like that Bassard is slightly smaller than the Constitution itself's Bassard. Maybe it's the same size. Maybe I'm getting the scaling of this ship wrong, because the Centaur is a lot bigger. And yeah, come to think of it, if you take on the premise of the sizing and the sort of upscaling that you would have gotten as these got rebuilt, that probably is actually the same size as the Bassard on the Constitution. which wouldn't be too wrong to say because the Constitution had quite the meaty sized facade, and you would be able to improve that technology. So keeping it the same size, you can probably still deal out the same intake as maybe Enterprise C level facade collectors or the Excelsior's collector. And considering this is technically, this nacelle should be an upgrade on the Excelsior's nacelle, so it is a good little design. Centaur did have a very small nacelle design, excuse my English. So it does work well for me there, and I do love the idea. Plus the whole housing and detailing at the front there is just, mwah, it's defined and redefined in such a beautiful way. Let's go to this upper section now. Upper section of the saucer and the bridge. So, what have they done to make the bridge look improved? Well, first of all, that is a battle bridge style. It's longer, it's slicker, it looks nice and defined. You can definitely see the command quarters at the back where you'd have your mission discussions and chats. Based on window sizing, I'm assuming this is only one deck in there, but a rather high roof. So I imagine you've got a bridge and then you've got a raised sort of tactical battle position that's above. Sort of a multi-layer bridge, but not too big. And then you've got your captain's ready room at the back here. This is all beautifully shielded. It's got this odd blue grilling at the back. I'm not entirely sure what to make of that. But my first thought is that this is sort of a ventilation or venting system for the warp stabilizer and the actual whole grill, the actual sort of warp system. As if you look underneath and gently, just on the underside where the sensor dome is, you got another blue bit. So to me, it's either some form of venting system, or this is part of a sensory system. This is supposed to be a battle-ready ship, I would say. I mean, especially since it's gone from the Centaur. So perhaps this is an improved sensory system, a long-range combat sensor. That would be a great idea if it is. And to be built into the stabilizer, not necessarily a bad thing. There's some kind of high intake here, which I'm not entirely sure what to make of that. But then you've got all these juts that are here. That's literally, to me, this whole raised section is probably some kind of technical area for development. You have your sort of tactical training zone, probably where a lot of a lot of officers can do their training up in there. CQC, arms ability, basic martial arts. I know CQC and martial arts should probably come under the same thing, but yeah, okay. I imagine there's a lot going on in this section here, but the one thing that really does catch my attention, and it's the four windows at the top here, and just the way it sort of says to me that's a very large room at the top there. So there's something major that goes on in that section. Not entirely sure what to make of it. Someone give me an idea. It's an interesting spot. Another interesting thing to bring up though is this bit that's just below it. Now, there's two things I see there. There's what appears to be a landing pad that then also appears to be a docking door. So, assumably, this ship can dock to places like Deep Space Nine and use that door to dock to it. So it would reverse up to the pylons, or perhaps shuttles, well, or large runabouts can dock to it. I'm not entirely sure. Looking at the circular design, it does make me feel like it is supposed to dock to stations via that, though. Then you've got this absolutely gorgeous clamshell hangar bay, and it's huge. Let's just pay attention to the fact that that is a lot of decks. I would say there's at least 5 to 6 decks to that. So you've got definite room for multi-layer hangar there. I imagine it might even be able to hold runabouts. At the size of it, this ship was being put into action around the same time as the Defiant. I would imagine that at least basic level runabouts could dock or base themselves in that hangar, along with 4 or 5 other shuttles perhaps. And I am assuming that it's quite deep, so I would assumably say it comes back to around about here. So yeah, that's a long way in, about halfway down this section. And it's a very nice design, so it fits very well. And literally, so many parts of the ship queue so well to the English, to the Walker class. It's brilliant. The whole back bit just matches up with the Walker. The front matches up with the Walker. Taking out the deflector that the Walker class had and putting a new deflector. I love the replacement on the bridge section though. That's the bit that made me like, I sort of like the most. They've taken the bridge away from the bottom, put it back on top. They've redefined it. Federation ships now always have their bridge in the same spot. So yeah, they swapped it up. Nice and easy. Not entirely sure what to make of this bit though, unless it's a very large channel for the deflector. Could be, because it could be like this whole section here amps up the deflector, but only a small grill is the output of the deflector. Let's go back to the impulse engines and the impulse drive, and this is probably one of the things I like the most. You see, I've never liked the Excelsior, well, the basic Excelsior and the Centaur's impulse array. They've always felt a little bit too underpowered to me. This just bulks it up. Pulling it back, it's about the same size, but pulling it back like it has done and putting it on those little outputs just gives me that feeling of a lot more power to it, and I love it. Just gives me that feeling that this ship is more ready to go and get maneuvering. Now. Onto the pylons, and this is the bit that I like the most. The pylons and the roll bar. So we've got the Miranda's roll bar added to this ship. Though what they've done is they've moved the torpedo slash probe pod and well, I want to say lowered it, but they've raised it on this ship, but they've lowered it on the standard roll bar in order to get it to mount just a little bit better, and added in a little support strut to hold it in place. There's a beautiful bit of grilling at the back there. To me, that's some shielded system, and that protects this, which is a beautiful idea because it needs protection. This is a lot bigger pod than you find on the Miranda, and that is easily stateable by the fact the Miranda has 2 outputs and this one has 4. And seriously, it's for the back, so this is huge. And the roll bar, the pylons themselves are a great design. The slope down I like, and the way they're suddenly raised just to hold in nacelles. Beautiful idea, because it gives me the idea then that these nacelles are meant for being held up above an Excelsior or an upgraded slash refitted Excelsior. Yet they didn't want to overly change the concept, so they didn't want to flip them upside down on this ship. And as a result, what they've done is, okay, we're not going to flip them upside down. So what we're going to do is we're just going to give the strut a little bit of a bend, and it can hold it normally. There we go. Fine. No realignments required. It's a beautiful idea. And then we get onto the weapons. Oh, holy crap. So let's just talk about being well armed. This ship is obviously a next generation of Centaur slash Walker class. It's like the Walker and the Centaur had a beautiful child, and we got this magnificent thing. So, you'd imagine it to be fairly well armed. This is perhaps one of the most over-armed ships I've ever seen. I want to know how much power the warp core is putting out to do this, because let's all just state that mega phases are charged via the warp core, much like the Spinal Lance is on the Enterprise D X. Sorry, the Galaxy Class X. Enterprise D's refit. So there's that much power required to charge a mega phaser, and this ship has 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 on the roll bar, and 2 on the pylons. But that's not all. It doesn't just have the 4 mega phasers. It has 4 reverse firing mega phasers. They're no longer just one direction, they're firing both. And Sally, what? Is that enough for you guys? Okay, well, let's try this. So it's got 4, sorry, just to make sure of it, yeah, 4 forward firing torpedo launchers. 4 of them, yeah? Sounds great to me. Okay. 6 aft firing launchers. I'm sorry, but I've got to say at least 2 of them are dedicated mine launchers. Because 6 aft firing torpedo launchers tells me that this ship is physically designed to fly down and past, and then literally as it's gone past, blitz the enemy with the torpedoes. This is an aft firing torpedo boat that would decimate, literally decimate ships it's just flown past, considering how phasers can bring shields down quite well, and this ship is really well armed up forward. I'm just going to bring that up in a second. I mean, 4 forward mega phasers to begin with, and then its other forward facing phasers, it will decimate someone's shield flying past. This ship's now shieldless, and then 6 torpedo launchers, each one of them probably firing a quantum or a photon torpedo. Even if they're only firing photon torpedoes at standard fire rate of ships during the era of this ship, or this ship's design lineage, it could each one of them would be able to fire at least 3 torpedoes off. 6 launchers, 3 torpedoes, really? 18 photon torpedoes would destroy a ship without shields. 18 quantum, the ship could still have shields, it'd probably destroy it still. It would be really damn dangerous and really damn powerful. That is a lot of backwards firing power. Plus it still has the mega phasers to fire if they didn't fire them forwards. Bearing in mind, mega phasers do have to recharge. They're very powerful output and they drain the core. So, why am I so over the top with those torpedoes? Well, let's just start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 forward firing underside phaser mounts. Ball phasers, of course. Yep, that's 5 forward underside. Let's go to the front of the ship. Sorry, the back of the ship. 1, 2, 3. Aft underside. So on the underside alone, you've got 5, 6, 7, 8 phaser mounts. 8 of them. Not including the mega phasers. Let's go above. Well, this is where things get a little bit calmer. Just a little bit. With only 1 aft firing there. From what I can tell, there is no other aft firing. Yep, none on the nacelles, so that's fine. Only 1 aft firing on the top. But again, at the front, 5. So there's 6 on the above side. Let's make sure we got that right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 phasers on this ship. 14 phasers, 8 mega phasers, and 10 torpedo tubes. 14 phasers, 8 mega phasers, and 10 torpedo tubes. Holy sh! Don't let this shit come at you! Do not fight this ship! No! She has the firepower to go up against the Enterprise C and cut it to ribbons. An improved Excelsior class that took on the Defiant would not be able to fight this ship. This ship could quite easily take on the Excelsior. It's got the same. Its firepower on the basic level. It's got the same sort of firepower as an Excelsior or Enterprise C, the Ambassador class. And then, considering the era of her development, which means she's going to be using the most recent tech, sort of tech you find in the Defiant, which means tech you find on the Enterprise D. Yeah. She'll rip him to shreds. I reckon she could go up against the Nebula class and come out on top. She might be really heavily damaged, but I reckon she might even be able to defeat a Nebula class. If she went up against the Defiant, they would both be severely beaten to shreds. But then again, this ship has mega phasers. The Defiant has the pulse quads and quantum torpedoes, but this ship has the mega phasers and more potentially quantum torpedo launchers. Though the Defiant has its backup of the last resort quantum chamber quantum chamber warheads, which is essentially 2 pods that release from the ship, detonating all the quantum torpedoes held by the ship, which would probably wipe out the Defiant at the same time if it was too close. But yeah, this ship could probably take out the Defiant before it had the chance to do that. Those mega phasers will rip through the Defiant's armor and the ablative armor, considering this is no longer Miranda level mega phasers. I know they look similar, but you've got to consider the era. The phasers of the Enterprise D, which is probably what this ship is armed with, albeit in ball format for some odd reason, must be the fact it's an Excelsior saucer. Well, the Excelsior was using Bs to fire phasers equivalent to an Enterprise D's phasers anyway at the Defiant, so this ship can surely do the same. And if it's armed with phasers that powerful, then the mega phasers, if they've been upgraded correctly and are now being charged by the warp core still, well, they wouldn't be as powerful as the spinal lines you see on the Galaxy X, albeit time period. But all 4 of them together would definitely equal the power of that that spinal lance, I would say. So if all 4 fired together, which theoretically, since they're all there, you assume the ship can do it, you'd be punching a hole clean through a Defiant. Good thing the Defiant is maneuverable and could probably dodge. Whew! This ship is insanely armed. I know I've been going on it for a while, but oh, damn me. She's a good ship. Now let's continue a little bit on with visually speaking. I love the way they came up with the undersling. So she's an upgrade on the Centaur, and the Centaur did already have an understudied pod, which had two torpedo tubes mounted to it. They've taken that away, they've sort of lowered it down, given it a slung, given it the swing arm bit that makes it look a little bit like the swing arm that you see on the Walker class. And it just gives you this... Who's blowing up here? It gives you this beautiful feel on the ship, and I absolutely adore it. Personally, I'm glad to see it. It really sings so much credit to the ships. The guy that designed this ship has really done... absolutely glorious job of the ship. I love the fact we got the Gargarin right now. It's my favourite Starship design up to now. And I'm absolutely loving the Gargarin class itself. So I'm really torn as to what ship to fly at the moment, because I want to fly this one. She's so beautiful. But I've had the Walker a bit too long and I got kind of bored flying the Walker. This one makes me want to fly her again. Damn it. Seriously, an absolutely stunning credit to the guy that came up with this ship. You've done such an amazing job. I love it. I think it's time we take a look at the visuals. So let's go into here. Yeah, got that part off. We'll start off with perhaps one of my favorite visual ideas. Oh, yes. So this is the Emperor visual skin, and well, I'm not sure those are torpedo tubes anymore. God, like this ship really does fit the idea of being in the Terran universe. I could very much see this as a Terran ship, especially with how heavily armed it is. how heavily armed this ship is already gave me that sort of Terran feel. To me, it's like a Terran Centaur. Like the Terran Luna, as instead of its pod, it has two. Instead of its sensor pod, it has two torpedo probe launchers. Oh, sorry, two torpedo launchers. That is such a nice look. I think I know what my thumbnail is. I've got to stop doing that. Discovery. Let's see how Discovery works on her. Oh, Discovery works well. Excuse me up there. Let's get out of the way of that so we can get a better look. Oh, the Discovery skin works really well on her. Absolutely love the deflector right now. Pod's a little bit fucked up. Excuse my language. Yeah, the pod looks a little bit naff. So keen on that right now. Warp nacelles look absolutely amazing. Love the deep blue in the areas. I think that's one of the things I like about the Discovery skin is the deepness of the blue. Let's add the Aegis on it. This was always one that came out weird for me on most ships. It's the way all the grilling is that weird shiny blue. I'm not so keen on it, but at the same time it kind of works. Probably would work better if the whole colour was darker, so the upgrade hull or the Type 4/Type 5 might look a bit better. Deflector looks pretty good though. Next up, let's assimilate. Oh, yes. Yes, indeedy. That's a very nice touch. I'm a fan of it. And the clamshell design for the shuttle bay looks absolutely gorgeous like this. It's been heavily assimilated itself. How about Bajoran? Now this one should be an interesting concept on it. Torpedoes look good. Impulse engines are nice. The cells look absolutely amazing. It feels very rough and ready. Almost feels pre-NX right now. Albeit a little bit of it is a bit off for pre-NX, but it's not bad. I kind of like it. The deflector I really like. Right. Normally a good one. And yet again, she is quite good. There's a little bit of grilling on there going on. I've just noticed. I quite like it. The warp nacelles is probably my favourite bit with this design. I feel like I should be firing plasma torpedoes from those torpedo launchers. Quick, get me a disruptor build. Actually, I'll pass. I'm not really a fan of disruptor builds. Oh, hello, hello, hello. Not so keen right now on torpedoes. Deflector looks okay. Warp nacelles, they're kind of okay. The gold trim, I both like and don't like. What the Nora? Yeah, it's an interesting look. How about... This one should be an interesting touch to it, based on the ship's original concept. Well, I like that they haven't overly changed too much. It actually works really well. But... possibly want to change the blue to a purplish itself, so that it sort of all blends. Or go for a lighter blue, that might work. Unfortunately, there's not really much change in it other than the whole texture itself. So that's kind of a letdown, if you ask me. I'd like for a little bit more change there. Okay. Oh, again, I'll probably change the blue to black for this one. Or maybe a reddish. Deflector looks really gorgeous. Facades are nice. Torpedo pod's okay. Don't really have much else I want to say on that one. That's, don't know about you guys. It's not the best look I've seen with Iconian. Let's go Mako. This should work really well on this ship. Sort of does. Changing all the blue to black, it gives you an idea of what it would look like in black. It's not bad, I kind of like it. The only problem is, I feel like with the way this ship was designed for a bit more color, having the white and the black there just doesn't work too well. Folian. Holy moly, that looks great. I mean, the cells are probably my favourite part right there. The way that you got the yellow and blue. Oh. It's a high-tech design, I'll give it that. It's really rough-housed and ready. Now see, with that darker grey, the blacker section looks great on it now. So I really do like that. And the deflector dish is gorgeous. Terran up again. We're bringing Terran back. Oh, deflector looks absolutely amazing. Bassards look great. Oh, she's a good... Yeah, she's very aesthetically pleasing to me. Hello, yes. I like the ship. How about... Actually, I'll take a quick look. I'm going to stop looking at this shield style. It's so poor. Jem'Hadar. Now, I knew that was going to work right away. But seeing it on the ship... Yeah, that just clarifies it for me. She's a good design. I like it. I like it a lot. Finally, this one should look absolutely gorgeous, to be fair. Oh, and she does so much. Well, I would do to fly that. Well, I can fly that. I'm gonna fly that. Deflector looks absolutely gorgeous, and the sails are very nice. This looks like a prestige ship for the Federation President now, though. Except for, I don't know why he'd fly a sort of warship-like ship. But yeah, okay. Also love these blue circle edits here. It's a very nice touch. I don't know about you guys, but personally speaking, this is one hell of a beautiful ship, and I fucking love it. Excuse my French. She's so nicely designed. The STO team have really outdone themselves to bring this ship to life. I love how it's a brilliant match between the Centaur and the Walker class. It looks like a brilliant iteration or evolution of the Walker. And it makes me feel like the Centaur was now an actual look at, right, we need to quickly build it, quick and easy to assemble ships. The Excelsior is one of our most easily ready ships. What can we do with its parts? Well, we've got the Walker design. Why not use the Walker's design concept and put the parts together in that sort of manner, and we can bring out the new variation of the Excelsior that we will call the Centaur. There you go. And it's like, yeah, okay, we'll do that. And it's like, okay, this isn't quite working right. Alright, engineers, develop it. Refit time, make it work. And like, okay, fuck it. We'll make your kit bash work. Done. She's a beautiful ship. Visually, well, as an evolution of the Walker class, I'll squarely give her a 10 out of 10. As a refit of the Centaur. Again, I've got to give her a 10 out of 10. She does that perfectly. And as a Starship Design, well, I think you guys know by now, I'm absolutely in love with this Starship Design. And with nothing that would change, I'm going to give her a design a 10 out of 10. So, nice job, STO team. I'm absolutely in love with this ship. I'm now gonna go fly her for a little bit. But guys, seriously, I want your views on this ship now. So, what do you think of her? Throw it down in the comment section. Let me know exactly what you think of this ship yourself. And if you've enjoyed this video, then maybe consider subscribing and ringing that notification bell. That way you'll stay up to date on my future videos. Or if you wish to support me and help what I do, you can always consider becoming a member of the Patreon crew. But with that being said, I'm going to thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you for getting to the end. And until next time, ciao for now. Live long and prosper. USS Raven, engage.